Today we're diving into a deck that's sure to light the Pokemon TCG meta ablaze. We're talking about the new Charizard EX to come out of Obsidian Flames, and the best bit, if you play the game online using Pokemon Trading Card Game Live, you can get the cards to build this deck mostly for free. If you log in right now, you're going to get 2 copies of Charizard EX just by starting up the game, and you can get a 3rd copy that's actually gold right now until August 21st by using the code card Celebrate WCS23. Gets a gold copy of it, puts it into your collections, and you're going to get those 3 Charizards you need to build the deck we're going to be covering today. You might remember Charizard as everybody's favorite fiery friend, but he's taken a bit of a turn to the dark side. He's always had a bit of an edge to him, but he's finally switched over and taken the Terra type of dark. It's kind of interesting. It actually means that it's going to hit weakness into top tier cards like Gardevoir EX and Mew VMAX. So by hitting them for weakness, 360, you're taking them out in one shot, which is pretty clutch. That base damage of 180 is actually going to increase with each prize card that our opponent's taken. So they take a prize, we're going to do 30 more damage. If they've taken 5, we're getting up to 330 damage, and we can be one-shotting other Charizard EXs if we'd like, or big things like Pokemon VMAX or other Pokemon EX as the meta kind of develops. Charging up the attack isn't too hard either, since it's only going to cost 2 fire energy, so you could just manually attach the first turn, manually attach the second turn, or just use Charizard's ability, Infernal Rain. It's going to let you search your deck for 3 basic fire energy and attach them to your Pokemon as you see fit. So you can charge up a Charizard and still have a spare energy to put somewhere else and get another attacker going. Or if you prefer, you could just charge up another attacker, and we'll get into them in just a moment. Since it is an ability though, Path to the Peak becomes a bit of a threat, so we do have to have high counts of stadiums to counter that. So we're going to be running 2 copies of Artisan, which is really good since it helps set up the Charmanders to get our bench established and some of our other pieces. 1 copy of Magma Basin just to help set up other fire type attackers or even get a Charmander on the bench charged up quickly, and 1 copy of Lost City, since into other stage 2 evolution decks like Gardevoir EX or other Charizards, if we can take out their evolution pieces before they get going and put them in the Lost Zone so that they don't come back, we're in a great spot. Also very helpful into the Lost Fox matchup. And in certain situations, you can even take 2 of them out at a time by using Delphox V. So its attack Magical Fire does cost 3 fire energy, so it's a bit pricey, but we already mentioned that Charizard can get those from the deck very quickly. It's going to do 120 damage to the active and then another 120 to a bench Pokemon. The trade-off does involve having to Lost Zone 2 energy that are attached to the Delphox, but the risk is typically worth the reward. Imagine crippling your opponent's evolution strategy by knocking out key pieces before they even evolve up into the EX cards. Yeah, it's pretty solid. Or just cleaning up knockouts that a Charizard might have missed, like there's something sitting on the bench that has 100 health left. Just go Delphox. Game. It's definitely a worthwhile play. It also has another attack in Eerie Glow that can be pretty helpful in a pinch. It's only going to cost 1 fire energy, so if we go second, we theoretically could use it on our first turn, or even just to buy a bit of time, since it's going to confuse our opponent, meaning they have to flip a coin to see if they can even hit us. Might give us a turn to kind of catch up if we're a little bit slow to start, and it does burn them, so it does 20 damage between turns, which can help fix up some numbers. Now the next thing I'm going to say is going to sound a little bit weird, but grass type decks are actually taking advantage of Charizard at the moment. Since it's switched to dark type, it's become weak to grass, and Delphox isn't really hitting the numbers to take knockouts into beefy grass Pokemon. We'd be doing 120, doubling that to 240. It's not quite enough to deal with things like, well, Leafeon VMAX, which you might see running around now. Never expected to see that on ladder, but yeah, it's coming up. So we are including another attacker in Entei V with its Burning Rondo attack. Does a base damage of 20 and then scales up by another 20 for each bench Pokemon in play, ours and our opponents. So if we've got a full bench, they've got a full bench, 220, we can be taking out basic EX or V Pokemon with it, and just kind of deal with those grass Pokemon that are going to try and take advantage of Charizard. The attack cost too, it's only a fire and a colorless, so we can quickly get this charged up just by attaching per turn, use Magma Basin and get it going, or charge it up with a Charizard if we like. It's also got a solid ability in Fleet-Footed that just lets you draw a card when it's in the active, so it can be very helpful early game when we're trying to get established. Now here's where we're going to hit a bit of a crossroads, and it's going to become a kind of choose your own adventure to build the deck. There's going to be secondary support Pokemon you can include, but there's only going to be enough space in the deck to pick 2, and there's going to be 3 of them to choose from. Arceus V-Star, Pidgeot EX, and Bibarel. These cards all add amazing consistency and adaptability to the deck, but due to space limitations, you can only have 2 of them. Arceus V-Star offering a powerful attack in Trinity Nova, doing 200 damage and letting you accelerate 3 basic energy from the deck to your V Pokemon. So we can charge it up with Charizard, then use it to charge up a Delphox or an Entei. It's a great option. It's not doing big numbers, but early game, it's doing more than Charizard, so it's not a bad option either. Later in the game, Delphox can come out and just kind of finish off that knockout that Arceus has set up, so it's definitely a great choice to have. Its Starbirth ability also adding amazing consistency to the deck, letting you just search your deck for 2 cards, add them to your hand. It is a V-Star power, so you can only use it once per game. Pidgeot EX, similar to Arceus, just letting you search your deck for cards when you need them in a pinch. But since it's not a V-Star Pokemon, it's not limited to once per game, it's only limited to once per turn, but the trade-off is it's only 1 card. So it's sort of like a trickier to use Arceus, but you can use it as many times as you like as the game progresses, so that's pretty clutch. It is a stage 2 Pokemon, so you'll have to be sharing the rare candies with it and the Charizard. Typically, if you have the means to evolve up into the Pidgeot and then use the Pidgeot to get a rare candy to evolve up a Charizard, I'd recommend going that route since the added consistency that Pidgeot brings is definitely worth it. But if you only have the option to get one of them online, likely go for the Charizard to start getting attacks going earlier and get the Pidgeot established later into the game. But it's definitely a great Pokemon to get online when you can. Not to mention, Pidgeot also has a pretty solid attack. It does 120 damage, so you can be finishing up knockouts that Charizard might have missed, and it's got free retreat, so if something gets knocked out, you can always chuck Pidgeot in the active just to give you a bit of breathing room while you decide what you want to do next, or use Magma Basin to charge up an attacker on the bench before switching into it for free with the Pidgeot. The Bibarel also being a great inclusion. We do run high counts of Iono in the deck, so later in the game if we're using Iono and going down to a 2-card hand, Bibarel to get us out of it while our opponent's sitting on a brick can be pretty clutch. Personally, I've leaned towards the Arceus and Pidgeot build, but there's nothing wrong with going with the Bibarel either. As to which of these Pokemon lines you decide to go with, it's entirely your call. Mix it up, match it up, see what fits your playstyle. You could also choose to just go with one of them, maybe cut out the Arceus entirely and run some Forest Seal Stones instead. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Gonna take a step back though, because we forgot to cover the basics. Charmander and Pidgey are obviously included in the deck since we need them to evolve up to the Charizard and the Pidgeot. Since these are both going to be fighting for the rare candies though, I did include a copy of Charmeleon so we can be manually evolving that up. It's also helpful because there'll be situations where you're not finding that rare candy, but you might have the Charizard in hand. You've got an Ultra Ball, you can search out the Charmeleon, you're in a good spot. Or if you have 2 Charmanders, rare candy 1 up to a Charizard, manually evolve up a Charmeleon, then you only need to find a Charizard to get in your hand at one point. You don't need to worry about getting rare candy and Charizard simultaneously to get the evolution off. It's definitely a good route to go. Something you might notice about these though, they don't have a lot of health, so we are including Manaphy just to protect our bench since Greninja's still running around and we don't want our opponent going, hey, there's 2 Charmanders, and they're gone. So we do need Manaphy to help out for that. Also, Delphox might start seeing play, like other people might catch on to this deck list and going for that, so if they bossed up our Charmander and then take it out and the bench Charmander, well, that would suck. So Manaphy, stage 2 decks, I feel like it's just kind of a necessity. While we're on the topic of our Pokemon evolving though, we are including a pretty solid supporter card that helps out just to kind of swing the tide of the game into our favor, being Cheryl. All of our Pokemon, once they evolve, are pretty bulky, so they can typically tank hits. We're not dealing enough damage early game to be one-shotting things. Ideally, our opponent isn't either, so we hit them once, they hit us once, we go to Cheryl, we fully heal, we use Charizard, we get that energy right back out, we swing, we knock them out. The attack they've done has effectively just been wiped off the board. It's definitely a solid inclusion to have in the deck. The rest of the trainer cards though, pretty standard stuff. Nest Ball, VIP Pass, Ultra Balls, get your Pokemon set up with them. We've already covered the Stadium. And then Super Rod, just to give some recovery to the deck. Maybe you've lost some Charizards early, you had to Ultra Ball them away. Way to get them back, or if they've been knocked out, or if you just need some more fire energy in the deck so when you evolve up to Charizard, you know that you're hitting them. It's definitely a great inclusion to have. The draw supporters, pretty standard stuff, running Iono and Colress. Personally, I find Colress to be really helpful in stage 2 decks because there'll be times where you're holding a rare candy or you're holding the evolution card. If you had to use something like Professor's Research, you're discarding that to try and get into the other card, and then maybe you found the other card, but now you don't have the one that you just threw away. So by using Colress, it just gives you that digging power to go, okay, I have one thing, I just need to find the other one, Colress, get it, you're fine. You can easily swap out the Chorus for Professor's Research though, if that fits your playstyle a little bit better. And then we're also going to include a copy of Roxanne, since Pidgeot, just being able to grab us a card from our deck. Later in the game, if we're using Pidgeot to get Iono, it disrupts our opponent, but it's also going to disrupt us. So if we don't have Bibarel to help out, it's a little bit tricky. But if we go Pidgeot and grab Roxanne, we put our opponent down to a 2-card hand, well, we get 6. So it's pretty clutch. Being able to grab it with Pidgeot makes it a powerful play. What do you think about Charizard though? Do you think it's got the firepower to shake up the meta, or is its flame burning a little bit too bright and it's just gonna kind of die out with time? I know I've definitely got high hopes for the card. I've really been enjoying the games I played with it, and we'll jump into those in just a second. Only gonna post one game with this video, but if you did want to see some more gameplay, at the end there'll be a link to the secondary channel where you can catch more of those. Also, don't forget to subscribe to keep up with the shenanigans, but let's jump on ladder and see how we go with this tonight. I genuinely could see Rapid Strike Urshifu taking the win again, just because like if people are running Lost Box, if people are running Gardevoir, like it kind of eats them up. It looks like we're into Charizard unless someone's just like memeing a bit. We'll open the Manaphy. If they've got the Delphox, this could be relevant, but I'd prefer to give up Manaphy over Pidgey. We can always get this back with a Super Rod later if we need it. They open the Delphox. Okay, well that's intimidating. So if they run the Delphox, they do. They most certainly do. And they have Battle Pass. Okay. Well, I guess we're going to try and retreat that. Mezagoza is kind of spice. But like if you whiff it, what do you do? Like Artisan, I get it guaranteed. All right, well, they're popping off. I don't really want to Iono them. It's Mezagoza. Show me a heads. No. Okay, well. What's the game plan? If I boss up Charmander, like they're likely holding Arceus V-Star or an out. If we Iono them, we're kind of helping them. If we Ultra Ball, what are we getting rid of? Like we could Ultra Ball, get rid of a boss, get rid of an energy, get a Charmander, just we're in an okay spot next turn, and then Iono to try and establish a bit more. I don't really want to put Lost City down because it could be hurting us. I think we do that. We afford losing the Lost City. Not many Charizard builds are running heaps of recovery. So like Lost Citying stuff, I don't think it's really going to make a difference. Frizing 2 Charmander isn't great. Let's do this. That's also not great. Like we've got the Ultra Ball, so do I just go for Arceus? Yeah, let's just do that. If we retreat into Arceus, they shouldn't have anything that can kill it. Yeah, let's just do that pass. So we've got Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball can get us Arceus, Rare Candy, and then Arceus gets us Rare Candy, Draw Supporter. Could also just get us like Rare Candy Switch, I guess, if they do manage to take a knockout. Charizard will be doing 210, 180 plus 30. It can take out the Delphox. Taking out their Charizard EX might be a little bit awkward. And maybe Mezagoza stays in play and we just get to use it for free. Like they just did. That's cracked. Don't bump your stadium, please. Yeah, because if they go Delphox to the Arceus, we just have to keep the Arceus on the bench the rest of the game. That's fine. And like they wouldn't Delphox to the Arceus because it's not hitting the bench for anything. So they've also got to find like a means to switch and evolve. They just wasted a Rare Candy on a Pidgeot. Maybe they have another Rare Candy in hand. Like Pidgeot can get them any card, but it's like they need the Charizard, they need a rare candy, they need to switch. It's a pretty big ask. I think we're in an alright spot here. Okay. Never mind. They got it. Okay, so Charizard's missing the knockout. That's fine. So do we just go into our Charizard and swing right back into them? Show me your heads. Aw, oh, come on, game. I don't really want to Ultra Ball 2 energy. We could... I guess we do have Magma Basin, but like we can get rid of one. One of those. We've got another one in the deck. We don't need all of them. Yeah, let's go... Definitely Rare Candy Iono, I guess. Yeah, let's do that. Just hesitant about helping. And like, I suppose we could always just like attach to retreat, right? Could have even charged it up. Did find the Cheryl though. It's like if we get a means to charge him back up, like tank a hit Cheryl, go again. You know what? Yeah. Maybe we get rid of that. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Yeah. Lucarina with the sub. How's it going, buddy? How's it going? Yeah, let's get another Charmander so that we do potentially have the Cheryl play next turn. It's a big ask. I don't think there's realistically a way where it happens, but... There's not a way where it happens. we need to get 2 cards. We need Rare Candy and Charizard. We draw 1. It's like we have Iono. It's 3 a.m. your time. You're about to drive 8 hours to take your sister to college. Whoa. Crazy, buddy. Crazy. That's a hell of a drive. Be a fun road trip, though. Super exciting. Are they just starting college, or like just going back, or because wouldn't be like a semester break right now, is there? I guess summer break. Also, but appreciate the sub, buddy. Appreciate it. We will switch over to the other side, realizing the camera is on the wrong side of the screen. It's like, that's what we're on when we're talking about the deck list, not when we're playing the deck. How are they finding all their rare candies? What is this? What is this nonsense? Is that 3 they've used? Crazy. Yeah, we've seen 1 and I had to Arceus for it. call shenanigans. So stop hitting my Manaphy's. Okay. Thoughts? Is Cheryl still bugged? Oh, also, yeah, we'll just go like super rod, put the Manaphy back in, get it back. That seems fine. Yeah, let's just do that. Mezagoza? Like, they really want to make that Delphox play. And I really don't want them to. Do we test it? Do we test it? Let's test it. Thank God they fixed Cheryl. Okay, cool. Good to know. I might try charging up the Arceus then. It's probably not relevant, right? What's Pidgeot's attack? 120, you may discard a stadium and play it. Nah. We'll charge it up as a secondary guy. Because, like, if we can get another Charizard online, that's going to be our main attacker. We knock him out. We're now up 2 prizes. They're doing 240. Our Charizard can still tank a hit. We're in an alright spot. Right? Because, like, we're at full health. Yeah, they don't take us out. Delphox isn't really setting up numbers. 1, because we have Manaphy. 2, because we're fully healed. We found our Delphox, though. Not that it matters, because Manaphy's down, but, like, we found our Delphox. We could confuse people. I've got to say, though, I do like how this pops. Oh, no, get out of here, bud. Get out of here. Actually, what's their game plan with that? How many bosses have they used? 2? I'm just not going to put another Charmander down. Right? Because, like, as it is, they're probably going to try and, like, boss a Charmander. Kill it. Although, I guess if I don't, then, yeah, they boss Charmander. They take these 2 out. Maybe we do. The Delphox seems unnecessary. Will Iono first. Maybe we hit a rare candy, we Mezagoza, we get into a Charizard, or we hit a Charizard and... Okay, cool. We Mezagoza to get into a Charmeleon. We take it. How am I looking for, like, boss? Don't have them? They're all in the bin? 1 is. Okay, 1's in the prizes, so I just gotta kill something. I can do that. I can kill stuff. Kind of think we just manually charge this up. Yeah. And do we need to worry about bumping that? I guess we don't need to, but it prevents them from getting a Charmeleon or a Charizard. Yeah, let's bump it. Super relevant, not really, but we do a bit of damage. Union, how's it going, bud? Yeah, it has been a while. How's it been? How you doing? Did you make a new account? It's ain't first time chatter, but I definitely recognize the name. How you been? Happy Friday. Also, I guess they didn't need the Mezagoza. They just had it. This guy just has everything. Damn, Pidgeot. Yeah, it's a new email. Ah, fair. Appreciate it, man. Welcome to the Goomba gang, I guess. Again. Like, I kind of want to switch into this, but if I switch into it, he just comes up with Delphox anyways, right? So it's like, it's pointless. Let's do this. Yeah, get some energy. Like, he's an attacker. He's an attacker. Because now all I need to do is kill him and then just follow up, kill him, right? Yeah, that's fine. They're either putting that active or they're putting that active. And if they... It's about time. Okay. He's been out for a while. But the last Charizard is in the discard pile. Because I was like, oh, can we do that so that he can't snipe something? Nope. Does give us an out to boss, though. But, like, the boss is in the prizes. We know that, but they don't know that. I don't know. Let's grab that. Din. Yeah, we take a knockout here. There's no way for them to take 4 prizes in a turn. They can take 3, but not 4. It's going good. It's going good. Trying out Charizard EX into Charizard EX, which is interesting. It's been an interesting prize trade. We're forcing them to, like, they're trying to go with Delphox pretty hard, and I've put Manaphy out. Super Rotted, put Manaphy out. I'm like, just not letting them have it. And now we're at the point where, yeah, it's, I think, bought us enough time that the game should be ours. We did get boss off our prizes. So even if they Iono us, we just Pidgeot, we get boss back, we boss up, well, the Delphox, but it's looking like they're leaving Delphox in the active. So we just hit it with Charizard and it should be game. So yeah, it's going good. Put the new promotional code in. I'm not sure if it still works. The Golden Charizard one, I haven't used it just yet. It should still be good though. It's just good until the 21st of August, unless it's all been redeemed. They might have like 100,000 redemption. We can try it after this match. I actually should have a video coming up on the YouTube in about 5 minutes. I've got it scheduled for 8:30. Did a little like weekly news roundup. I did it yesterday thinking like, okay, we got a bulk of news already. There'll probably be more on Friday, and sure enough there was, like with the Gold Charizard. Got to see Garchomp EX, that's really exciting. Frostlass EX. Larry gets his supporter card? Sick. Okay, so they are trying to come up with the Radiant Charizard. That's fine. We've got boss. We have game. Like, they're trying to force it, so they're like, oh, it would give up a single prizer. And it's like, it's redundant. The only way they could come back is if they had boss and Defiance Band, right? They attach Defiance Band to the Radiant Charizard, boss up the Pidgeot, kill it with Radzard, and Iono. But if they're doing that, that's 2 supporters in 1 turn, so they can't. So they just Iono us, and it's like, yeah, I've got energy out already, bud. Game. It's just GG. We're in a good spot. We are in a pretty good spot. Fighting fire with fire. They were hitting a lot more consistency, but I feel like we just kind of played our turns correctly, and it's come around, which is good. All right, chuck this in the active. Pidgeot, grab me boss game. That's sick. Okay, you know what? I do like having the Pidgeot in there, because like I've got a couple different builds, and one is like, oh, maybe we go with Bibarel instead of Pidgeot. But like being able to do plays like that, or like grab Roxanne for disruption late game, it's just sick. Just sick. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, hitting that thumbs up button's always appreciated. If you're after some more gameplay, there'll be a link popping up around here that should take you to the secondary channel. If you want another deck list though, there'll be a video popping up here. Till next time, take care of yourself.